What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. The Multiversus team just revealed a lot of data for the big upcoming Multiversus mid-season patch, and we're going to go over quite a bit of that information in this video. And, well, if you're tired of hearing my voice, well, don't worry. You get to hear the voices of the actual Multiversus team. So let's start with the first thing that they mentioned. Free-for-all mode is coming to the game, so take a listen.
With the mid-season patch, we have a couple of returning modes, one of which is free-for-all. Free-for-all is going to be returning back to year Q, and it's going to be a little different compared to what it was before. It's not the same as getting the most points and having the crown at the end and having the zoom in what we had back in the beta. This is a more traditional standard free-for-all. It's going to be based on who gets the first 4 knockouts in any match wins the match.
Next up, they even talk about Spectator Mode returning, and this will be big for tournaments, you know, people that are doing, like live streaming and that sort of stuff for tournaments. That'll be big for the game. So Spectator Mode returns, and it will even have 4 spectators per game. I think that's what I got. So take a listen.
Also returning, which we've been looking forward to getting this one up and ready to go, is Spectator Mode. Spectate Mode is going to be coming back for all of you who've been looking to have tournaments online, who've been having fun with players and having people watch. And Corey, Nakat, something we've been able to add in that's been really cool with all of our testing is you can actually support up to 4 individual spectators in the game now, rather than just having the one or having to have others watch. You could all join in and have up to 8 people total in the lobby, 4 playing and 4 spectating.
Now, some other changes that they mentioned are on their way. Changes such as post-game stats will be returning. I mean, we've known about this for a little while, but, you know, it is a part of the mid-season patch, so here's what they had to say about it.
And up next after that, too, this was a big ask that a lot of people were bringing up, and we wanted to make sure we got this back into your games after the game, is the post-game stats. So you'll be able to see there's an option to click, depending on which controller or keyboard or mouse you are using, to be able to pull up the post-game stats after the match for both PvE and PvP for your ring outs, damage dealt, and all that good stuff.
And another thing that I'm very glad is finally making it into the game, replay button for rifts. This is perfect. I love this. So, you know, they briefly mentioned it.
There's also an addition that came to PvE that was brought up as well from feedback, is that there was no replay option. And there's now a replay option in PvE. So if you want to go right back into the same node because you haven't completed all of your missions, or you just want to play that one again, there is a replay option now to go right back into the same node that you had.
Now, another big thing that the players have been asking for are the outlines and the color tints to go away. We don't want that. So luckily, they came up with like the perfect solution. Both options are going to be toggleable. This is the best case scenario. It's not just one or the other. If you want outlines, you can just have outlines. If you don't want the tint, you can turn that off. If you don't want either of them, you can turn both off. So this is a great thing. So listen to what they have to say.
Yes. This is another one. We wanted to make sure we got the fix in, as the original toggle was only taking off the outlines. You are now able to take off both the outlines and the color highlights, or individually how you see fit.
Next up, they mentioned a new stage will be coming to rotation. Although it's not really a new stage, it's already in the game, so I was slightly disappointed by this. I was hoping for like an actual brand new stage, but the new stage that's going to be in rotation, easy for me to say, is going to be Court 2. I believe this is the daytime version of the Space Jam court, so it's not going to have the walls on both sides. So I believe the basketball hoops movable or something, but the Court 2 or the daytime court is going to be in rotation. So, I mean, I guess it's something new, but I'm still hoping for like an actual new stage.
Mid-season month stage, we are going to be enabling the Court 2. So anybody who has seen the court in the daytime version in PvE or running around anywhere in screenshots, that is going to be now enabled with the mid-season patch. That's going to be both joining the 2v2 queue as well as the 1v1 queue. and our normal Space Jam stage will be moving over to free-for-all.
Next up, another massive change coming to the game is the input buffer setting, and this is another thing that we've been asking for forever. It was in the open beta. Well, it's making its return in the big mid-season patch, so here's what they have to say about that, as well as a little bit of knowledge about the input buffer setting if you've never really messed around with something like this.
So starting off, you got the customizable input buffer timing. This was something that was also highly requested by players, and this will be making a return in the mid-season patch. You also have customizable control stick input dead zones for both the left and right sticks for you guys to pretty much set to have the most comfort with your preferred method of controller of choice. You can swap the side and neutral attack inputs for the ground and air. This is another one that was a super big request.
So that was a lot of technical information back to back. So for those that may not necessarily understand what that means, so for customizable input buffer timing, Nakat, essentially that means the time between you click that button until the input comes out. Am I correct or am I off on that?
No, correct. Totally correct.
Now let's move over to a couple of the character changes, and keep in mind, this is not all of the character change. Like they mentioned, and I'll put this towards the end of the video, but they mentioned almost every single character got some sort of changes or adjustments or buffs or nerfs in some way. So let's start with Bugs Bunny because he's a big one. So they do mention something about his safe being changed, and I'll let the audio play after this in a second. But they also mentioned his neutral air, you know, where he kind of like does the T-pose and spin around. That one, he has neutral air. That one, neutral air into neutral air will no longer be a thing apparently.
For some of the main characters that we want to discuss, we'll actually start with Bugs Bunny, who has been living up to his identity as a pretty strong mage in the meta currently, a little bit too well, might say. We're hoping to reduce the time that his safe can remain on screen by making it a bit more fragile, as well as looking to tone down some of the more strong loops that come from his aerial neutral attack.
Yeah, this was a very big one for Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny's ability to basically use a neutral air into another neutral air is no longer a thing. You will be able to still get your combo follow-ups though. Something that's very important across all of these characters is we made sure that we want to keep character identity still strong.
Another character that's getting buffs, and I'm really happy about this one, Jason. Now they didn't mention too much, but what they did mention with Jason is his weapon hitboxes are going to be fixed, which is good because what's the one that I'm thinking? Is it his forward air or is it like neutral air? I forget which one I'm thinking of. But there's many times where you swing his axe or his sword, or his machete in this case, where you swing it and you see the animation, and in the animation effect goes through the character, but the attack itself doesn't hit the character. So apparently they're fixing Jason's weapon hitboxes.
So in this patch, we want to introduce some frame data changes to make him a bit faster on startup. As you guys know, his dash attack has become another tool to deal with zoning, and we fixed up the hitbox on his weapons to better match the range they should be hitting opponents. We also improved the consistency of his grounded up attack so opponents will not fall out of it. We hope with these changes we have increased Jason's viability a bit.
Another character that's getting nerfed is Shaggy. They think he's definitely an all-arounder type of character, and they mentioned that during the little Discord stage that they did. But they needed to change him to where he's not just grounded up attack and then up special, and then you get like KOs at like 60%, because that made him a little too strong. They even mentioned like he was winning tournaments with like just a very simple combo, so they're trying to dial that back. But Shaggy is getting some nerfs.
Shaggy, I mean, to put it bluntly, was winning events by pressing up a reverse hit of up attack into up special, and that was not gonna last. So the way that up attack works now, it's very similar to how we approached Harley, because we didn't want to do the same patch change that we did to Harley the first time around, where we realized up attack was not letting people still pressure. So you could still combo, you can still go after people, but the hit stun has been reduced quite a bit. So now you will be looking for fast single hits or reads or trying to chase after people, but you will not have the guaranteed reverse hit up special, up attack into up special, and we will continue to look at if we ever see more of those, because we want to make sure that Shaggy still feels very good all around, but has people have the ability to counterplay and not lose to just getting jabbed.
And then, like I mentioned, last but not least, they do say that almost every single character is going to be changed in some way. There's a laundry list of changes, and we'll get that once the official patch notes do come out, and that should be tomorrow. So that'll be great. Update is tomorrow. The big mid-season patch coming. So I'll just play that audio very quickly.
Almost every character has been changed in some way, so make sure you check that blog out.
But that is pretty much it for this video. So the big mid-season patch is fixing and, well, re-adding a lot of things that, well, hopefully should have been a part of the main launch, but, you know, maybe the game got rushed out so they couldn't include some of those things. But this is just kind of a big overall massive change for the better for the game. So that's kind of cool. If you're hoping for a character or a new stage, I mean, yeah, we did mention that, you know, Court 2 is coming to the game. It's not a new stage because it's already in game, but it's now in rotation, so it's nice. But I would like, in the future, I'm just going to throw this out there. You know, here's my 2 cents if anyone cares. For mid-season patches, I still, you know, more changes like these, more balance changes, the big stuff. But I would like something else. I mean, sure, we're getting like Spectator Mode, we're getting free-for-all, so that's cool. I will be definitely checking out free-for-all. But I hope in mid-season patches from now on, we get something like actually new. Give us an actual new stage. Don't save all this stuff for like the beginning of a new season. Maybe we can get a new character mid-season. Maybe we can get an actual new stage. Something like that I think would be great. Add in new perks mid-season, something like that. But again, I think they got better or more important priorities right now than that kind of stuff. Fix the game, get it into a better playable state, and then go from there. So that's just my 2 cents. That's all I got for this one. Hope you all enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.